planning on visiting the beautiful island of Saint Croix, part of the U.S. Virgin Islands? We are pleased to share some useful information that will help you maximize your time during your visit to this gorgeous Caribbean paradise. Here's everything you need to know before you go to Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. But before we dive into this useful information that will save you time on your next travel, we ask you to subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe. Tell us your traveling experiences in this, or any other country you have visited on the comments space below the video. And don't forget to hit the bell icon, so you can be alerted when new content is available. Subscribing does not cost you a thing, and by doing so, it will give us the opportunity to produce more of the best educational vacation destination content you can find anywhere. So, here we go. The island of Saint Croix was inhabited by various indigenous groups during its prehistory. The same indigenous groups that also inhabited nearby islands like Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. John, and many others from the area. Christopher Columbus landed on Santa Cruz, Holy Cross, as he called it, on November 14, 1493, and immediately was attacked by the Kalinago tribe, who lived at Salt River on the North Shore. This is the first recorded fight between the Spanish and a New World native population, and Columbus gave the battle site the name Cabo de la Flecha, Cape of the Arrow. By the end of the 16th century, the islands were said to be uninhabited. Dutch and English settlers landed at Saint Croix in 1625, joined by some French refugees from St. Kitts. However, the English expelled the Dutch and French settlers, before they themselves were evicted by a Spanish invasion from Puerto Rico in August 1650. The Spanish occupation was short-lived, since a French force of 166 men attacked, and in the following year 1651 had established a colony of 300 on the island. From 1651 until 1664, the Knights of Malta, at the time a vassal state of the Kingdom of Sicily, ruled the island in the name of Louis XIV. The island then passed to the French West India Company. The colony was evacuated to San Domingo in 1695, when France battled the English and Dutch in the War of the Grand Alliance. The island then lay uninhabited and abandoned for another 38 years. In 1725, Governor Frederick Moth encouraged the Danish West Indies Company's directors to consider purchasing Santa Cruz, Saint Croix. On June 15, 1733, France and Denmark-Norway concluded a treaty by which the Danish West India Company bought Saint Croix for 750,000 livres. In 1916, Denmark sold Saint Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John to the United States, formalizing the transfer in the Treaty of the Danish West Indies, in exchange for a sum of US $25 million in gold. That formal transfer of the islands to the U.S. took place on April 1, 1917. The island's inhabitants were granted United States citizenship in 1927. Industrialization of the island and its move away from an agrarian society took place in the 1960s. The 2012 shutdown of the Hovensa refinery resulted in the loss of many jobs. Agriculture has seen a slow resurgence, due to an increase in demand for local produce and agricultural products. As we have seen in this short history recall, Saint Croix is being in a constant change of position by different cultures, since it was discovered back in the days. This has made Saint Croix to be the rich and diverse cultural and historical place that is today. Saint Croix, the largest island of the U.S. Virgin Islands in the eastern Caribbean Sea. It lies some 65 miles, 105 kilometers, southeast of Puerto Rico, and 40 miles, 65 kilometers, south of St. Thomas. The easternmost point in the United States of America, In the Western Hemisphere is Saint Croix Udall. The island has an area of 214.66 square kilometers, 82.88 square miles. The terrain is rugged, though not extremely so. The highest point on the island, Mount Eagle, is 1,165 feet, 355 meters, high. Most of the east end is quite hilly and steep, as is the north side from Christiansted west. From the north side hills, a fairly even plain slopes down to the south coast. This was cultivated as the prime sugar land on the island back in the day. U.S. Virgin Islands currently observes Atlantic Standard Time, AST, all year around. Clocks do not change in Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Time zone in Saint Croix is GMT 4. Usually the climate in Saint Croix is hot, oppressive, windy, and partly cloudy. Over the course of the year, the temperature typically varies from 72 degrees Fahrenheit to 88 degrees Fahrenheit and is rarely below 68 degrees Fahrenheit or above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The best time of the year to visit Saint Croix for hot weather activities is from early December to mid-April. Based on what we mentioned in the previous section, cotton or linen clothes are preferred to avoid overheating. Of course, you are going to want to bring your swimsuits, but please bring something to wear over it when in public. Men usually do not wear ties or jackets, and nobody bothers with raincoats. Resort casual is usually as dressy as it gets on Saint Croix for men and women, so a sundress for ladies or linen slacks and a polo shirt for men is all you need for a nice dinner. Hats and sunscreen are a must to protect you from the sun. Even if you tan easily, the sun will burn you if you're not prepared, ruining what could be your best vacation. You may also want to bring insect repellent to fight off mosquitoes and no-see-ums, especially in the morning or evening and in areas where there are mangroves, standing water, or ponds. Saint Croix is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands nestled in the Caribbean, an unincorporated U.S. territory whose residents are U.S. citizens, although they are ineligible to vote in presidential elections. Therefore, it is not necessary to travel with a passport to visit Saint Croix if you are a U.S. citizen. At the moment this video was published, international travelers to the United States must show proof of a negative COVID-19 test, either antigen or PCR, taken within 1 calendar day of departure to the U.S. This only applies to the U.S. Virgin Islands if you are arriving in the USVI via air from a foreign location, such as the British Virgin Islands or Antigua. There are no vaccination or testing requirements for travelers leaving the USVI and heading to the U.S. mainland. The USVI's testing requirements are for domestic travel to the territory, for example, from Puerto Rico to Saint Croix, or from New York to St. Thomas. All domestic travelers 5 years of age or older must use the travel screening portal at usvitravelportal.com to submit the required COVID-19 test result prior to traveling to the territory. Travelers are required to provide evidence of a negative COVID-19 antigen or PCR test result taken within 5 days of commencement of travel to the territory. Persons who have been fully vaccinated in the U.S. Virgin Islands may submit evidence of their vaccination status instead of a negative COVID-19 test result. Travelers should note that the new federal one-day testing requirement for international travel does not apply to marine travel to the USVI. International marine travelers still follow a 5-day testing window, and certain vaccination requirements apply to non-U.S. persons. The official currency in the USVI is the US dollar. No other currency is in circulation and therefore would need to be converted to USD for your visit to Saint Croix. politics of the United States Virgin Islands takes place in a framework of a presidential representative democratic dependency, whereby the governor is the head of the local government, and of a multi-party system. Saint Croix is an island in the Caribbean that is politically part of the United States Virgin Islands, which also includes St. Thomas, St. John and some smaller islands nearby. As part of the United States, the U.S. Virgin Islands are an organized, but unincorporated territory of the U.S. The islanders are considered U.S. citizens, but they cannot vote in the U.S. presidential elections. The U.S. Senate ratified the treaty on September 6, and it was signed by Woodrow Wilson on January 16, 1917. Formal transfer of the islands occurred on March 31, 1917, along with a U.S. payment to Denmark of $25 million in gold coins. At that point, the Virgin Islands became an unincorporated territory of the United States. The Treaty of Cession promised U.S. citizenship to the inhabitants, except for those who chose to retain Danish citizenship. Virgin Islands operates on 110-volt electricity and is generated at 60 Hz cycles, alternating current. If you are from USA and traveling to the U.S. Virgin Islands, you'll be happy to know that an adapter is not necessary for using your electronics in Saint Croix. Saint Croix culture abounds due to our rich history and combination of native Carib and Taino, African, European, Caribbean, and American heritages. The people of Saint Croix, known as Crucians, are proud of their culture and are happy to share it with you. Life here in the Caribbean is very laid back and relaxed. But the local culture is still relatively reserved, so common courtesy and respect are important. Which is why people find Saint Croix to be such a friendly place. In the 2010 United States Census, Saint Croix's population was 50,601. As of the 2020 United States Census, Saint Croix's population is 41,004. The largest Saint Croix County racial/ethnic groups are white, 93.6%, followed by Hispanic, 2.5%, and 2 or more, 2.1%. English is the official language of Saint Croix, but some French is commonly spoken as well. Spanish is also spoken amongst the few Puerto Rican immigrants that inhabits the island. As with many Caribbean islands, Christianity is the predominant religion on Saint Croix, although there are several other religious and spiritual practices to be found here, including Rastafarian, Islam, and Judaism. As the date we publish this video, you should plan to spend around $189 per day on your vacation in Saint Croix, which is the average daily price based on the expenses of other visitors. Past travelers have spent, on average, $45 on meals for one day and $28 on local transportation. Also, the average hotel price in Saint Croix for a couple is $238. Expect grocery prices to be about 30% higher than you may be used to, since everything that isn't grown on Saint Croix must be shipped here. So, be prepared for a little sticker shock unless you come from a remote place too. A vacation to Saint Croix for 1 week usually costs around $1,324 for one person. So, a trip to Saint Croix for 2 people costs around $2,648 for 1 week. A trip for 2 weeks for 2 people costs $5,297. Amazing Airbnbs are available in Saint Croix that will usually offer more affordable options on places to stay. Visit www.airbnb.com for more information. The two main towns are Christiansted and Fredrikstad. Christiansted, also called Basin, chief town and port of Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, on the northeastern coast of the island. Exports are mainly watches and rum. It was formerly the capital of the Danish West Indies. The other main town, Fredrikstad, is often referred to as Freedom City by locals. This nickname has to do with the fact that the town was the site of the emancipation of slaves in the then Danish West Indies. As in other United States Virgin Islands, also in Saint Croix we drive in the left lane at a slower pace. First and foremost, please don't rush. Traffic travels at a slow to moderate pace due to the condition of the roads and numerous curves, so most often people are not in a hurry. Local drivers are generally courteous, so please return the courtesy as you make your way around the island. The honk of a horn on Saint Croix is almost always a hello or an I am giving you the right of way to pull out. Also, do not use your cell phone while driving. Not only is this a punishable offense, but you endanger yourself and others by texting or talking while driving. A full-service bus line operates throughout Saint Croix. Taxi and Jeep services are readily available. Most taxi drivers are able to provide their passengers with comprehensive tours of their island. Ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft don't operate in the Virgin Islands. Saint Croix has no more of a crime problem than any other tourist destination. That is not to say there is no crime on the island, of course. Saint Croix, like anywhere, is not crime-free, so just take normal precautions. Almost 100% of the crime is locals against locals. Yes, the islands are fairly safe to visit, but be mindful that areas of Saint Croix have increased in crime in recent years. Crucian cuisine is a complicated blend of styles, encompassing bush food created by indigenous islanders, Caribbean dishes from other islands in the region, Rasta food that speaks to the cultural and spiritual traditions of some of the island's locals, and sweets crafted around readily available ingredients. The unofficial dish of the USVI, pot fish and fungi, dates back to when slave rations predominantly consisted of fish and cornmeal. In this dish, fresh fish is fried, stewed with vegetables, and served with a cornmeal mush called fungi. The Caribbean cuisine also takes advantage of the great local seafood such as conch, wahoo, mahi-mahi, kingfish, potfish, or small reef fish, and lobster. Some of the more well-known Caribbean dishes you will find here on Saint Croix are saltfish, conch and butter sauce, callaloo, and fried kingfish steaks. As we always do, know before you go we'll present to you the best places to eat, this time in U.S. Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Island. Disclaimer: Know Before You Go channel is not endorsing or being endorsed by any of the restaurants mentioned here. The order they are mentioned is not representative of their quality. Café Fresco. A local cafe set in an old Danish building with a courtyard that offers morning and noon meals, Café Fresco. It's a favorite amongst locals and visitors of Saint Croix. The pastel-colored buildings, cobblestone courtyard, and patio umbrellas add a dreamy, summer atmosphere to this cafe that's perfect for mid-morning meals. It's among the best-rated restaurants in Saint Croix for its casually romantic vibes. The cafe's menu changes daily. Cafe Fresco location is 138 King Street, Christiansted, Saint Croix U.S. Virgin Islands. Their phone number is 340-719-0126. You can visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/USVI. Polly's at the Pier. Polly's at the Pier is a little restaurant across Frederiksted Pier that serves specialty coffee brews and sandwiches. Though its whole look is simple, this restaurant is still one of the best places to eat in Saint Croix because of its classic tropical vibes and superb ocean views. You'll absolutely feel like you're living on an island while you're here. Polly's at the Pier is located at 3 Strand Street, Frederiksted, Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Their phone number is 340-719-9434. Or visit their website at www.pollysatthepierstquad.com for more information. Galangal, an upscale restaurant in Christiansted that specializes in French-Asian fusion dishes. Black leather chairs, fancy table setups, and incredible Asian decor create a luxurious atmosphere that elevates the experience of fine dining in Saint Croix. Add in the exquisite plating of each dish, and you'll feel spoiled during your meal. Galangal's location is at 17 Church Street, Christiansted, Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Their phone number is 340-773-0076. Or visit their website at www.galangalstx.com. As you can see, there are many favorites of our visitors here in our diverse, multicultural, and flavorful cuisines of Saint Croix. There are plenty of many other places that we are sure you will make your favorite. Please visit www.go-to-stquad.com for more information. There are lots of popular activities, attractions, and must-do experiences unique to Saint Croix. Saint Croix offers lots of family-oriented things to do, amongst many other outdoor activities, thanks to our perfect weather and beautiful beaches. Our rum drinks are also incredible, thanks to 2 world-class distilleries right here on island. What you won't find is mass tourism. There will not be hundreds of cruise ship passengers descending on your hotel's beach. In fact, many times you will find that you have the beach all to yourself. Another difference, and one we are most proud of, is we have many options for every kind of traveler. Are you an adventure, historian, scuba diver, romantic, foodie, or just like to explore? We have enough to keep you busy, or not, that's up to you. Here we suggest a few places you might visit while in Saint Croix, U.S. Virgin Island. Annalay Bay Tide Pools. The Annalay Bay Tide Pools are a series of large, naturally formed pools found on Saint Croix's beautiful North Shore. While accessing these pools is a bit of a challenging hike, it is worth every single step. On your way to the tide pools, you will hike through a portion of the island's rainforest and enjoy breathtaking views of Carambola Beach Resort, Davis Bay, and the seemingly endless Caribbean Sea. Plan accordingly, and the Annalay Bay Tide Pools will be a day of scenic hiking, playing in the refreshing Caribbean waters, and soaking up natural beauty that you will never forget. Alert! Please consider going with a trained guide as the terrain can be quite precarious. Also, be sure to check the wind and sea conditions before taking this adventure. Recapping. There is no cost to gain access to Annalay Bay Tide Pools, but we strongly suggest to go with a guide to avoid complications in this precarious hike. A guide will have a service fee. Be prepared to do some hiking, walking, climbing, and some beach-type activities. You can spend an entire day in this gorgeous, almost unreachable location. Please visit www.go-to-stcroix.com for more information. Dance with a Moko Jumbie. Moko Jumbies are a cultural icon here on the island of Saint Croix, and dancing with one of these talented stilt dancers should be on the top of every visitor's must-do list. Moko Jumbies have been part of the Virgin Islands' cultural heritage for over 200 years, and their origins can be traced to Africa as far back as the 13th and 14th centuries. Moko Jumbies are said to ward away evil spirits, or Jumbies, from parades, gatherings, and festivals by standing on 10 to 20-foot high stilts, making them tall enough to reach the evil spirits and drive them away from the crowd. Moko Jumbies are generally covered from head to toe in elaborate costumes, hats, gloves, and masks. The story goes that the Moko Jumbie must be completely covered except for their eyes so that the Jumbies don't recognize them. Note: don't forget to tip your Moko Jumbie when you get up and dance with them. They work very hard to preserve this cultural tradition while offering fun and lively entertainment. Recapping. There is no cost to dance with a Moko Jumbie, but tipping is highly encouraged. Be prepared to dance and relax. Trough the whole experience to the beat of Caribbean calypso steel drums. You can spend a few hours dancing away. Feed the tarpon at the Christiansted Boardwalk. As you walk along the Christiansted Boardwalk, you can't help but notice schools of huge, silvery tarpon that linger in the water beside you. Sometimes, a dorsal fin will even slice through the surface of the water, giving you an eerie Jaws flashback. Alas, don't be alarmed, these large-eyed, broad-mouthed fish are not dangerous to humans. Tarpon mostly feed on mid-water prey such as mullets, pinfish, needlefish, crabs, and food scraps. Known as bottom feeders, tarpon congregate around docks, boardwalks, and charter boats hoping some fish carcasses, or any other scraps, are thrown their way. The tarpon have become an attraction unto themselves here in Christiansted as waterfront restaurants and their patrons feed the insatiable fish things like chicken wings, French fries, fish skin, tortillas, or other food remnants that would otherwise go to waste. Recapping. There is no cost to access or feed the tarpon. Just relax admiring the beauty of the surrounding areas, and seawater wildlife, or eating in one of the nearby restaurants. You can spend a few hours just fitting the tarpon away. Crab races. Ladies and gentlemen, start your hermit crabs? That's right, here on Saint Croix, one of the most well-attended sporting events on island is the weekly crab races. Held at multiple resorts, bars, and restaurant locations across the island, these high-stakes racing events are fun for the whole family. You can pick a crab and participate, or just watch the fun. Either way, the crab races are always a delightful and budget-friendly pastime. Here on Saint Croix, the people understand better than most that the perfect work week begins and ends with a few laughs. From this understanding and maybe a few libations, the ritualistic pastime of evening soldier crab races was born. The tradition of soldier crab racing started as a form of entertainment centuries ago, so while crab racing is not a new form of entertainment by any means, it is experiencing a fun resurgence. How do the crab races work? Participants start by choosing their crabs for $2 each and naming them. The crabs get a little name tag on their shell once they have been chosen and named, and then they are put into a bucket to be queued up until race time. The buckets of competing crabs are then placed upside down, with the crabs captive inside, on the course starting point. The course is a set of concentric circles, like a bullseye, and the crabs start in the center and race outward. When it's race time, Sue sounds the official starting kazoo and the race is on. The buckets are lifted off the crabs and they take off, some much more quickly than others. The winner is the first crab that makes it outside the course circle. Recapping. There is no cost to watch the races, but a $2 fee is required if you want to participate. Be prepared to cheer, laugh and mingle amongst other crab racing enthusiasts. You can spend a few hours having fun at this family-friendly activity. Have a beer with pigs. Like many small islands in the Caribbean, Saint Croix offers its own unusual local tourist attractions. Surprisingly, one of our most popular attractions are the beer-drinking pigs at the Mount Pelier Hut Domino Club. Yes, you read correctly. If you stop at the Domino Club, not only can you get yourself a cold beer, but you can buy a round for the resident pigs. Non-alcoholic, of course. Tucked away in the subtropical rainforest of the island's west end, just off of Route 76, is the Mount Pelier Hut Domino Club. Known to many residents as Norma's after beloved proprietor Norma George, the property houses a small open-air bar and restaurant and a separate outbuilding that is home to stars of the attraction, the beer-drinking pigs. For those of you that are animals lovers, rest assured that Norma and the staff of the Domino Club treat the pigs like family pets. They all have names, they are well fed and cared for, and they are never forced to drink. They only drink the non-alcoholic beer offerings when they want them. The Mount Pelier Hut Domino Club was created and has become one of Saint Croix's most well-known and loved attractions. Recapping. There is no cost to visit Mount Pelier Hut Domino Club. Beers have a fee. Be prepared to feed and admire pigs while drinking non-alcoholic beers. You can spend a few hours picking out with the pigs. As you can see, Saint Croix packs an abundance of fun and unique attractions in its 84 square miles. In fact, acre for acre, I'd put this U.S. Virgin Island up against any Caribbean destination for its diverse, interesting, and quirky activities. There is never a dull moment in Saint Croix. Culture, history, and food. Although it's the largest of the three islands, Saint Croix sees the fewest tourists, making it a great destination if you want a less commercialized Caribbean experience. If you would like to visit all three U.S. Virgin Islands, we recommend visiting for a minimum of 5 days to get a good experience of each island. In reality, you could easily spend 2 to 3 days on each island to fully explore what this beautiful paradise has to offer. Saint Croix is known for its historic sugar plantations, white sand beaches, and the surrounding coral reef that's popular with snorkelers and scuba divers. Its two main towns, Christiansted and Frederiksted, have a colonial feel with arched, shaded walkways and sorbet-colored buildings. We are sure that Saint Croix will live up to your expectations if you are looking for tranquility out of the ordinary wonderful experiences. If you want more information about Saint Croix, or any of the other 2 islands belonging to the U.S. Virgin Islands, visit www.visitusvi.com. That's all for this magnificent presentation. Thanks for watching. Here are some other video suggestions that you might like to see. Don't forget to subscribe and comment your experiences here with us. Again, thanks for watching. And we'll see you soon.